Awesome.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for taking the time to do this with me. I really appreciate it. Grateful for you. And I'd like to ask you to introduce yourself to the people that don't know.
And thank you so much for giving this opportunity for me as well to share my knowledge, to share my experience to your community. And I'm also thankful. And for those who don't know me, and my name is Zhao Longbek. My real name is Zhao Longbek, but most people know me as J Disciplined on Instagram. So I'm the founder of J Discipline, and I've been doing content creation since last year, August, the August 31st. So it's been about 5.5 months
Awesome.
since I started this journey.
And you have made some wonderful progress. It's awesome to see the rate at which you've grown at. Congratulations. You just recently hit 50K followers. That is awesome. Great work. You've definitely put the work into it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I hope you will also get here as well. And I hope your community will also be motivated and then be disciplined to get here because getting to 50,000 followers, this is another like milestone that many people will stop, like doing the work. And I also did it without expecting anything in return. Yeah. All we have to do is to work the and then, wait for the results to come.
Just taking care of the inputs, man. I love that. And you've exemplified that perfectly. I have just a few questions for you. I have them written down on my phone, so you'll see me kind of looking down a little bit.
Yeah, no worries.
First question I have for you is what does growth mindset mean to you?
Growth mindset, it's a little tricky for me. If I just have to mm, describe the growth mindset for myself, like in one word, it could be beliefs. For me, it is the perspective we think and the mindset for like you need to believe in those like plans or in any kind of stuff you wanted to do. And before I started this journey, I actually had no idea if I like would have the 50,000 followers on Instagram, like watching me, following me, and learning from me. What I knew was like, I would definitely reach this level. I didn't know I would actually reach this level this fast, and it could happen to anyone. It could change it in just overnight. That's why, like, the all we have to do is the belief, and then you need to get rid of those, like, habits, like toxic habits, all the stuff. That's how we, I think about the growth mindset.
I love that answer as a set of beliefs that you're able to improve. I completely agree. I think you're absolutely right. How would you describe your current mindset?
My mindset is completely shifted. I would definitely describe it as like the creator mindset. Maybe we can talk about it like that, because when I was all I have to do is to take like talk about my experience, like the before and after. That's because that's how I felt, and that's how your community could feel, you know. And before starting this journey, I used to, only like consume those like contents. I knew what I had to do. I knew like I should be a content creator, but all I was just doing was consuming. And when I was just consuming, like without doing any kind of actions, I was depressed, I was stressed because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. But right now, and this mindset is completely different. Like right now, even though I'm scrolling, I am always conscious. in the past I was unconscious. I was just scrolling for fun or to like, kill the time, right? But right now, even though I'm scrolling, all I'm doing is to find the right content to recreate or for myself as well to learn, like to analyze what is working for others, what is not working for myself as well. And this time, this mindset, like I actually don't say like the next time or later, because in the past I did it. And the one thing that I actually regret was like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Mhm.
I think you've heard that as
Yeah.
well. Tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, you said it like, oh, let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow
Yeah.
never ends. That's the thing. That's the mindset that I changed, and I always don't say, like no tomorrow, because yesterday I said tomorrow.
I love that. I love
Yes.
that, man. Was there a moment where like a switch flipped where you went from consumer to creator?
Uh, I need to give like the credit to, the code with Louis, right?
Yeah.
The So I used to like watch only like reels, and one of the moment that I actually got from his clip, and he also like said, I think he made a clip like the reel about the mindset and discipline. And he's really good at this, like motivating people and then discipline. And I got it, I saw it, I was like, oh man, like I'm just wasting my time. It is time to take actions. And then I knew what I had to do, but I told you I didn't know, and I had to buy some course. I had to check everywhere, like what is the course, like who is the like the guy who can teach me how to do it. And then that's how I started, like because one one video could actually change everything. That's why I also made my content like J disciplines, to make others as well. Like I'm here to discipline you guys, because you don't want to be like wasting your time. You need to put the work right now for the gratitude later.
So that clip that you saw, you think those motivational videos work, it got you. It got you to start taking action.
Like the motivation can actually make you start, but discipline can should actually makes you continue forever. Like motivation can blow, like can make you start the course or something, maybe start content creation, but it will just disappear. It will fade away in just maybe 10 or 15 days. But discipline, you need to do the work, like whether you're tired, whether you're sick. And I also did it. I was tired, I was sick, and I got actually burned out for the like in the first 30 days. And all we have to do is to stick to the plan and be disciplined. And that's how I got my first viral video, when I got like started and I had the idea. It was like 5 a.m. to be honest, and I couldn't sleep until 5 a.m. without sleeping, because I got this idea. I couldn't sleep. I was just like, I don't know, laying on the bed like, damn, I have to do it. Instead of just doing it in the morning, I actually recorded that video. Even though it's night, I had to use all my lights to make the quality look better, right? And then I actually edited until 8 a.m. after shooting those stuff. And I did everything. I'm gonna upload it in the evening, so that like many people will watch it. When I upload it, like boom, in the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, I got 50,000 views. Like, damn, like, this works really well. And like, instead of just saying it like, I'm gonna do it later, or I'm sick. If I just say I'm sick, I definitely wouldn't be in the same position that I am right now. Even yesterday, I was sick, to be honest. Maybe I caught a cold or something. I couldn't feel really well, but still, we gotta do the like work, always put the work before anything.
I love that, man. That's an awesome story. I've had those moments too where you just get this idea at like
Exactly.
midnight, 3 a.m. And if you don't take
Exactly.
action immediately, often you forget about that idea completely. And
Yes.
you just said exactly perfectly that that idea can be the one that takes off.
One idea, and one idea could change everything. It could be a game changer.
I love that. And that's a great story. What
Thank
does
you.
success look like for you?
Success. Success means like different to everyone. And myself, I am a minimalist, or I can say that way. It doesn't have to be having some kind of luxury cars or something. Success is seeing my family, not worried about, like financial, like status, right? That's the thing that I want them like to see. That's the thing that I want to see, right? So that's how I actually call success in my own world. And I
Okay.
don't like, of course, like I want to have the luxury cars, I want to have the big mansions, but I have families. I have a big family to feed, right? Like we need to escape the race, rat race, like all together, not just myself.
And I love that answer. What do you think that success feels like if you had to describe the emotions you'd experience achieving that?
Ah, this is, oh my God. Well, the emotion, definitely, it is definitely positive. Success. This is, I actually haven't thought about it, the this question, to be honest, because uh maybe for myself, why don't you start first, and then I will try my best then. Why don't you?
It's a difficult question for myself as well. It's something I've been thinking about a lot recently of what it would actually feel like for myself to be successful. And success for me looks a bit different. I have a much smaller family, and my dad's about to retire, and things have been taken care of. So success for me looks more like spending more time with my family and not
Yes.
being so much involved in what work I do, but able to work when I want, where I want, with who I want, and able to spend the time that I wish with my family. And I have family in Italy, so that means some sort of remote work. I'm in the United States, so there are tons of opportunities here for in-person work, but the remote work I want to be able to do anywhere. And that is kind of my version of success
Yes.
objectively. I think the feeling of success, though, I have already experienced, and I'm not sure if it would feel differently. That's kind of what I've been thinking of is I've set goals before and I have succeeded at those goals. And I think
Yes.
it is going to be a very similar feeling.
Yeah. For myself, I also like set some goals. Sometimes it is too big, right? You know it. And when I succeed this, when I achieve these like goals, definitely it is, I feel completely, how can I say? I can say that like I'm relieved. I think like I'm relieved, and then I think like, damn, like I can do it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like be in the past, I was like, can I do it? Like, is it possible for average people as well? Because I used to think that those are like completely different people, and this is the thing. Like I used to make excuses for others. Like, oh, they are using ads or something. They are running ads, or they are using some kind of unfair tools, maybe like to grow faster, but that's not the case. All they have to do was to put the work. And right now, like all we have to do, even though whether I achieve those goals or not, we have to just stick to the plan. Yeah, and when I succeed, like when I achieve those goals, I'm definitely the guy like who is the happiest and relieved, the most relieved among everyone.
I think maybe you feel the same way, but for me, when I've achieved those goals in the past, I don't know if I haven't done a good job of kind of enjoying that success. I've always gone to setting a bigger goal and kind of moving the goalpost forward. And it's like, okay, just recently, it's like the goal was to hit 1,000 followers. And then it was like
Yeah.
5,000. Now it's like 10,000. And the difference between what it felt like to have 1,000 and 5,000, like the emotion was similar. But I set the goalpost further. I think there's definitely a difference to say about, being financially free versus X amount of Instagram followers and the difference
Yes.
in that. But that's just something I've been thinking of is like the magnitude of the wins hasn't made me necessarily feel an order of magnitude better when I succeed at them.
Yes. I think, yeah, I definitely agree with you. And even for me, like achieving like this type of like goals, for example, like reaching like 10,000, 1,000 is definitely not the goal. It's like a sub goal,
Yeah.
definitely. I think for most of us, it is an audience, it is a family, like we can talk about, but like having financial freedom or mm, the one that I like the goal that I got like, that got me emotional was to make my first 1,000 like dollars like on Instagram. That's the one that actually that made me emotional when I made my first $1,000. And I didn't have any kind of products, but I had to figure it out like what to do, and I had to like search on the internet, and I found like affiliate marketing. And I was before starting, like you need to check those like programs as well, like if it is legit or not, right? Because there are so many programs that are not legit, and I had to check those, and I liked that some of them, and I was like, well, why don't I try to make some contents based on this? And I had this, like it's just going up, up, up. I was like, oh damn, like it is working, And when I made my first like 1,000 commission, I actually got emotional because it is possible, and I knew like the what is affiliate marketing in the past, and I knew I was planning to do it, but I was just delaying, and I was procrastinating every time. But now I had the opportunity to do, and yeah, that got me emotional. But my first my like next like goals is about just like the, full financial freedom.
Yeah.
So I would definitely cry if I think like achieve this stuff like which could happen soon, as long as we put the work, right?
I love that. Again, that's really re-encouraging to hear. I think
Thanks.
for me, it's even more re-encouraging knowing that these achievement goals feels similar amongst goals. Like there is definitely more emotional value to, like retiring your parents, setting a goal like that versus
Yes.
1,000 Instagram followers. But if you play the game where you're aware that these goals kind of feel similar, you can give yourself more wins.
Yes.
And that's re-encouraging. So if you celebrate what I was doing for a while was celebrating every 100 followers. And it was like every other day, I was like, yes, like we're doing this, we're killing it, we're going, we're
Yeah.
winning. And that builds up and gives you evidence of why you can continue achieving more goals.
Yes. Exactly. It's kind of like sub goals, and then
Yep.
you can like you can whenever like the more like the bigger your like goals is becoming, you also need to increase the expectation as well from those like goals. Like for like 100, like I think it's just the same with like 1,000 right now for you, right? Like achieving those like 100
Yeah.
goals. Exactly.
I heard a statistic that the best predetermining factor for success is past successes. So if you can build up more evidence, more sub goals, as you're calling them, that kind of build up this story of why you are successful, then you are even more likely to achieve that because you get all of this positive feedback.
Exactly. That's why we love like documenting our journey and then try to like, look back. Oh, damn. I always like think about this like August 31st because that's the time that actually made the difference that I started this journey. Okay, I'm gonna do it. And I didn't archive my first posts as well because I actually go down, even though it takes time. I go down and then check it like, damn, like I was just editing these videos. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it is awful and I'm ashamed, but this is where I came from. This is how much I improved. And people should see that. That's why I left those stuff like unarchived. And they need to see if they want to like see me like when I was starting first.
Yeah, I love doing that too. My first video on my account is terrible. That is for sure. Like the text isn't even all the way onto the screen, and it's like it's bad. But I like looking back on it to be like, okay, I've made these improvements, and
Exactly.
at least the numbers agree that I've made improvements, you know?
Yeah.
My next question is, what is a piece of advice you'd give to the younger version of yourself if you could talk to him today?
Um, how young do you mean?
Let's
Maybe
say
5 years ago or like 10 years ago?
that's a good question. Let's say the 18-year-old version of you, so like just starting to mature.
18-year-old. Mm, Focus on one thing at a time. Focus on a one thing at a time, and then try to master one skill at a time. And don't lure out your focus. That's what I wanted to give this advice to my younger version of myself because that's how I lost my focus. I wanted to make money. I wanted to do something, but all I had to do was to think about so many like watching YouTube like channels on how to make money or how to find some kind of stuff. And those are all great. For example, like trading, even make money online, content creation, any kind of stuff could work for anyone, like even stocks. But my problem was I focused on too many things at the same time. So mm, I think that that's also some people's problems nowadays as well. So, my advice to them and to my younger self would be to focus on one skill or one thing at a time. Don't just think about others. Make your plan A work no matter what.
Yeah, I think I needed to hear that myself. Honestly, I'm doing quite a few things right now, and I can tell that as I've eliminated some things off my plate, everything else has gotten better. So
Yes,
as I narrow my focus, everything else has been getting better as well. So just cutting things off my plate,
yes.
I think that's a great answer. I love that. How do you stay motivated?
Uh, I'm not motivated to be honest. I'm not motivated. I'm just disciplined. And I like I like posting, I like creating this stuff, but I'm not motivated like to post this like for others or even for myself because that's not how it works for me. Uh, Maybe if you want like if you want to see the real motivation, maybe I haven't seen it yet, but my like the biggest motivation should be like seeing my family, like retiring my family like fully without like worrying about like without them worrying about their financial like status. That's my like motivation. That's my goal, like to see. Like if you want to see the real motivation, that's it. But like for like to like create this content, other stuff, like I'm not motivated because it takes time, right? takes time and it takes your energy, everything. And sometimes it's stressful. You might get easily like burned out, but we cannot try to find some like motivation from this. All we have to do is to be disciplined, is to try to analyze what is working, what is not, you know.
I love that answer. That was a great answer. What is the single greatest lesson you have learned on your personal development journey?
Can you repeat? Like it because of
Yeah.
the internet, maybe I couldn't hear.
What is the single greatest lesson you have learned on your personal development journey?
Personal development,
Personal
maybe the
development,
habit,
growth.
the habit.
I have another question about a habit, but if you feel like that's what you
Oh,
need to talk
maybe
about,
okay.
then let me know.
Let's leave the habit. Let's leave the habit for later. For
It's a similar question to maybe what piece of advice you would say to a younger version of yourself. But if there's
yeah,
something that kind of stuck out, like for me, the greatest lesson I've learned is just building the habit of health. Like being
yes,
healthy means you're going to have so much more energy to do whatever you want to do with that energy. But I think without the habit of health and being healthy and working out every day and eating a balanced diet, I don't think I'd be in the position I am now. I don't think I'd have the energy to be continuing to pursue growth myself. So if I could
exactly.
teach anyone anything, it'd be like first, figure out the habit of health, get in shape, you'll have better energy, you'll want to do more.
The absolutely habit of health all is always number one, should be the number one because when you have the like the healthy body, you have the healthy mindset. You have like you are more like resistance to like having stress, having any kind of depression, because your mindset is completely different, and you know this, right? And for myself, like the biggest lesson, let's talk maybe cutting off the parties and cutting off like toxic friends. When I was studying, like people, like right, like your close friends won't leave, like if they are real friends, and they like I have like four friends like who stayed with me no matter what, even though I got like 50 followers or something, right? 47 followers, they were just cheering me no matter what. And but like that, like other friends just like are friends for me, just who want to have fun with me. And when I stopped like hanging, like when I stopped like partying, hanging out with them, they told me like, you're not like fun anymore. Like that's the point, bro. Like I don't want to have fun like before achieving my goals. Like my goals always the number one, and then like party. And when you have these like toxic like friends or toxic people among your in your environment, I would definitely suggest you to cut them first, because there is a saying, I don't know who said it before, like you will be the average person among the five like people you hang out with, right? And I see my friends and I can see definitely, oh damn, like oh he has a car and I have a car. Oh, he runs a business, I have a business, something like this. But if they are like, oh, he's broke, I'm definitely gonna be the next broke, because as long as I'm hanging out with them, the my mindset would also like change, because oh, this is how we should live. And he's partying, I am also partying. He drinks, he smokes, I also drink and smoke. But I don't drink, I don't like smoke. I'm just giving some examples.
Yeah.
So like cutting those like toxic habits and toxic people would definitely be my biggest goal, like success lesson that I learned during this journey.
I think that is such an important thing to talk about and goes underrated and is a difficult choice to make too. And especially being aware of who those people are is
Yes.
fantastic to be able to do that. And that's exactly why I've created this community, is because I find it hard to find more people with that similar mindset, especially in your hometown where you grew up or in the same area you went to school. It's difficult to find those people. And I think there's an incredible value that is underrated about putting yourself in a position to be around more people like that.
Yeah, thank you so much for creating like this community, like once again, because that's what make these like people join and then try to find those like-minded people like themselves and learn from each other.
I think a great segue question to the last one I ask is how do you overcome comparing yourself to others?
Uh, That's yeah, like I don't usually compare, but sometimes you unconsciously compare yourself with others, right? And even for content creation, when I started, like I also achieved this like 50,000, but there are people who achieved like 100, even like 200, like thousand followers, even though we started in the at the same time, you know. And for me, sometimes yes, like I unconsciously start comparing myself with them, but if you just do that, like you can never be happy because there's another like saying, there's always a bigger fish than you in the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Always, always, as long as you like, if you are not the richest guy in the world, like you will never be happy. Like if you just compare yourself, like you're like about your net worth or something like this, right? And like instead of comparing myself, I try to compare like myself with my like own self in the past, like my past. That's how I try to avoid like with them, because I always think like, oh yeah, he has like 100K. He already reached 100K. And many people might be depressed and might not be happy with their result. But come on, bro. Like I used to be like lost, stuck in life, and I used to party. But right now, I'm trying my best. I'm making money through online stuff. I already have these like goals achieved, you know. So that's how I try to avoid comparing myself with others.
I love that, man. What a
And
great answer for sure.
yeah, what about you? Like, I need to ask yourself as well.
I consistently struggle with it, man. I've got to be honest. It is a struggle that I've had, like you were saying, especially in the content creation world. And it's pretty easy to see, oh, this person's done this many posts and they've gotten this. And it's for me, it's like, okay, I've over 550 posts, and there's people with 40 posts that are like way bigger. But you never know what's going on behind the screen. Like they post only their wins, they post the best part and ultimately, you're not competing against these people. There's enough followers, there's enough money, there's enough love to go around for everybody everywhere. So it's just about
Yeah.
competing with yourself the day before. And I think I went through this even in the gym, like seeing the other guys lifting more weight than me. And it wasn't until I started like competing against myself that I was able to kind of make that switch. And that is another reason why I emphasize so hard the habit of health is because working out teaches you all these great lessons that you need to know for your self-development journey that go into business, that go into content creation. So it's like, okay, last week I did 185 pounds. This week I did 190 pounds. That's a win. That's a win. It doesn't matter if the guy next to you did 191 pounds the same day. It's like you don't know
Exactly.
what's going on behind the screen. You don't know what's going on at his home life. Maybe there's some places where he envies you. Maybe there's some places where he doesn't envy you. You never know what's really going on. That's what
Yes.
I tell myself. I definitely struggle with it. Even consciously, I struggle with it. And whenever those thoughts come into my head, it's like, okay, you're doing better than you did yesterday. You're doing better than you did a year ago. You're doing better than you did 10 years ago. For me, I'm like analytical. So I'll be like, okay, check your stats. Are you healthier? Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have more income? Yes. Do you feel like there's more love in your life? Yes.
Yes.
It's like, okay, then you're doing the right thing. You just got to give time.
Yeah, awesome, man. Like even for me, like in the fitness, we can say that like there are people like in different, like with different mission, right? With different goals. For me, my goal is to have a healthy body, not to have a big muscles. Because if you have big muscles, you cannot be flexible. And I play soccer and other stuff, like I do wrestling and I do running. And if I have big muscles, like this is not possible. And if I get injured, you know, right? Like it is really hard to get recovered from those like big fractures when you have these like big muscles. And for others, like some people compete in a like even pro sports, like bodybuilding, other stuff. And for me, like having a healthy body and having a yes, like strong muscles, like instead of like big muscles, is the most important thing. Yes, you also mentioned it. Yes, definitely. We need to. I think when we are just comparing, before we were comparing ourselves with others, we need to think about the goals between the like theirs and ours as well behind those like work.
I love that. I think that is a kind of great place to start wrapping this up. I think that is a problem that a lot of people struggle with, is comparing yourself to others. We've put some good
Yes.
strategies there and kind of opened up ourselves about what we've done to do that. My last question for you, the way I want to finish off is there a quote you want people to know? Is there a quote that floats around in your brain that you've been thinking of, something you've read lately that you just want to put out there?
Uh, I have like two quotes, but let me talk about my like the best quote that I
Okay.
use on myself. The Sometimes I win, but sometimes I learn. There is no lose, you know. We don't lose. All we have to do is to learn from our mistakes. And like people make these mistakes to become millionaires or billionaires. And there is a thing like, like billionaires lose millions to become billionaires, and millionaires lose thousands to become millionaires. And broke people don't want to lose a penny. That's why they are going to stay there. That's the the mindset that I got like the from this quote, and the next one, the other one is like one day or day one. That's the thing. Like you need to start. Like I used to read so many like books about financial stuff, but this stuff like just reading books doesn't like make you rich or doesn't make you compete with others like financially. So all you have to do is to put the work. You need to start.
I love that. That is phenomenal. The first one is great. Day
Yes.
One day or day one is something I was telling myself too, especially for my fitness journey. I think everyone can benefit from that. I want to say thank you so much for your time. This has been great. I'd love to do something like this again. I'm going to go
Yeah.
ahead and pause the recording here.